Hi, in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to give you 4 agreements that you should make with yourself in order to thrive. Hi, on this week's Thrive in 5, I want to talk to you about the 4 agreements. And the 4 agreements come from a book by Don Miguel Ruiz. It's a great book. You should read it. You should definitely read it. The 4 agreements seem like simple things, but when you understand them, the depth of these can be quite powerful. And so I want to go through them quickly. Don't let my speed indicate the lightness of these. These are powerful and important ideas and agreements that you need to make with yourself in order to thrive in your life. So let's go through them. Number one, be impeccable with your word. I love this one, but it's so hard to pull off because we're so geared towards making sure we look good, so geared to making sure we say the right thing or do the right thing. And impeccable with your word, impeccable is really about being faultless with your word, having that sense of lack of fault in the words that you say and what you say, both to other people and, I think importantly, to yourself. One of the things that's been helpful to me is to recognize how important it is to be impeccable in my word with myself. Where is it that I am not impeccable with my word? Where do I find myself doing those things that lead to being faulty in the words that I'm saying, either about or to myself or about or to others? So be impeccable with your word. Really hard to pull off. Number 2, this one I think is another difficult one to understand and take on, which is don't take anything personally. And it's so easy for us to take it personally. Things happen and we go, it's my fault. People say stuff and we go, oh, they must not like me, or oh, they've done something. And so we tend to take a lot of stuff personally. There is a truth in psychology that is really important to understand, and it is that we see the world not as it is, but often as we are. And we often see other people not as they are, but as we are. And in psychology, it's called projection. We project onto other people that which we see in ourselves. So when somebody accuses you of something, when somebody does something, if it's true and you've been impeccable, then don't take it personally. But even then, when we know something they say is not true, we still take it personally. And the thing that's helpful to remember is it's not necessarily about you, it might be about them. If it is about you, you will accept it and you'll probably have already clearly identified the thing that you've done wrong. But because you live out in a world that's constantly trying to figure their own stuff out, it's very easy to take what people say and what people do as it relates to you very personally. It's another agreement you need to make with yourself. Number 3, don't make assumptions. And man, this one's hard. I make assumptions all day long. If you watch a previous video I did, it was about correlations and cause, and it's very easy for us to take data that comes into our world, put these correlations together and make assumptions about it or make decisions about it. And the whole point here of this agreement is, as best I can, quit making assumptions about the stuff that shows up in my life. Because when I make an assumption, I believe the assumption. And when I believe the assumption, I act out of that. And I think we all know the thing that we were taught: when you assume, you make, that thing. So the way to get out of assumption is to ask questions. If you don't understand things, don't sit there and pretend you do. Don't assume you do. Ask the question. Clarify. That's an agreement that's really helpful in your life. And then finally, number 4, always do your best. Always do your best. Now, that's a nice term, and that's why the depth of this is pretty profound. Always do your best is something that goes beyond just looking good for people. By always do your best, I'm talking about in every situation, when you get in a situation, in that moment is your agreement with yourself to do your best. And only you know that you're doing your best. Nobody else does, only you do. And there's times that even doing your best, you're not at your best, but you're still doing your best. There's times when what you're doing, you're not that good at. Frankly, when I can try and do my best at specific things like handyman kind of stuff, and I'll do my best at it, but I'm not really that good at it, and I recognize that. But that's the standard I encourage you to hold for yourself, and it's the standard that I try and hold for myself. I recognize I don't always do it, but what's really valuable about this one is it kind of pulls the other three together. When I do my best and when I have that agreement with myself, every situation I walk into, every time I give my word, when I'm with people, when I'm seeing things occur in the world around me, I continue to do my best, and it's the best that comes from deep inside me. I hope these agreements are ones that you can embrace, that you can take on, that you can make with yourself and be true to them, because when you do, really cool stuff happens, and I think you will find yourself thriving as a result. I hope that helps. We'll talk to you next time.